So our butterfly guard is the last of the major guard positions that we're going to be building a system around. When we come in for our butterfly guard, a couple of the major ways that we'll situate our body and our posture is going to be either on both hips, seated on both butt cheeks, with both of my feet inside of the legs, or I might be in a situation where I am favoring one hip, I leave one foot inside, and then the other foot moves to the outside of the knee where it'll give me posting opportunities to help drive into my sweeps as I move in that direction. As far as my body posture, I want to try to stay seated up. The more my shoulders go behind my hips, the easier it's going to be for him to set me back flat and start working into his passes, whether he's working for a body lock pass or maybe he's trying to just put me into a non-offensive posture and then back out and away from my butterfly guard. One of the major battles that I am trying to fight when I am playing this butterfly guard, beyond trying to not be rolled back onto my back, is I want to guard this space here. So as I'm in my butterfly guard and my opponent's coming towards me, I'm keeping my elbows close to my hips to prevent him reaching over my thigh, around my waist and behind my back where he can lock up, flatten me, and body lock past me. So we want to make sure that we are not overextending ourselves from this position when we're trying to work from the bottom. Keeping elbows inside of knees. That way if he were to move to a different angle, I'm still closed up. I don't want to open this space up for him at any time if I can help it. So as I'm moving into my connections, whether I'm looking for double unders, over under, arm drags, collar ties, I want to maintain all of this space, maintain my posture, and make sure that I am not giving up a bunch of passes, grips on my arms, overextension. Try to keep yourself contained within yourself. Overextension, not the best thing for us. Now I am on top. Like always, I'm reverse engineering this. So I'm trying to prevent him from taking his connections on me. I might be monitoring what his feet are doing. Both feet inside, one foot inside, they're gonna give him slightly different options. So I'm thinking about how he's setting himself up and what those options are gonna be. One thing to keep in mind when passing a butterfly guard is before I get so close that he forms tight connections on me, this is a non-captive position, right? I don't have to be here. When I'm in closed guard, I have to break the closed guard. I have to address a closed guard. When I'm in a butterfly guard, this can only happen because I'm on my knees, I'm in front of him, I'm engaging. If I stand up and back away, it's very, very hard for him to keep me in butterfly guard if he doesn't already have his underhook, overhook, good tight 2-on-1 grip. If I keep him at distance as I'm gauging whether or not I can move in for my body lock pass, then I'll be at a point where I can, if I feel like, oh, he's beating me at this hand fight, he's beating me at this pummel game, I can post, back out, and then start working him into a different guard that I might feel more comfortable passing. When we are playing bottom butterfly guard, we're gonna have a few different submission options. Not a ton of them. This for me is a much more transitionary position where I'm angling to get to the back, I'm angling to get to my front headlock, or I'm angling to go into a different type of guard. But there are some attacks from here. One that I like a lot that plays in well with my arm drag is a darce, where I might act like I'm going for a arm drag, but instead I snatch the head and I lock up a choke, a head and arm choke. Like most of our guards, I try to transition out of these bottom positions and put myself either in the mount or on the back, as opposed to fighting on the bottom and consistently eating my opponent's body weight as they're trying to pass around my guard. Another attacking avenue that we'll have when we're playing this butterfly guard would be to elevate our opponent. Right now, his feet are out back behind him. I can't really get to his legs. But if I lift him up overhead and I shift his body to where it's more above my torso while I'm underneath, his legs are going to extend. They'll reach out to the mat to find posts and keep his balance. And that's going to open up space for me to slide in on my leg entanglements.
Uh-oh.
But as with all of our guards, I'm generally aiming to go from this bottom position to a more attacking top dominant pin, something like mount, back control ideally. I'll take side control if I have to, but it offers a lot less control and submission options than the mount or the back. So anything I can do to transition out of this is going to be a little bit better of an option for me. We're going to have a bunch of different transitions from this position. We obviously had that last one where we might have transitioned into a leg entanglement. We could use that to set them to a hip and build up to our feet and start passing. That's one transition. Another one that's pretty easy to get to is our arm drag that puts us outside of the shoulder and on the back. This is a big favorite of mine. I can hit my corner sweep, my sumigaeshi or my butterfly sweep, however you at your academy refer to it. But I can sweep him in this direction and set him to his back and take a top position over top of him. Or we're also going to look at making frames, taking collar ties, and building up to our front headlock, which again is going to give us our angles around towards the back. I can go from here off to the side where I start working my hooks in, break him down to a hip, then I'm on his back, ready to attack while he has no real attacking options. So as with all of our guards that we've looked at so far, our number one option is going to be to try to transition to a better attacking position. We want a backdrop of attacks that we can use when we're there. That way, when like we talked about in our closed guard video, when they start making their mistakes, we want to be able to capitalize on that. But we don't want to just be spamming these lower percentage options when it's not that hard to take an angle outside of the elbow and either get all the way around to the back or use that to sweep them to their back and then go from mount to the back. One thing that I would like to see all of my students do, and if you're watching and you're not one of my students, one thing that I think might help you out would be to really, really focus on the position before submission aspect, which gets talked about as a cliche. Everybody says it, position before submission, position before submission. But then the same guy that tells you that is just, as soon as he gets to mount, spamming arm bars and falling off and getting stuck in bottom close guard. Find a way to control all of these positions and then start paying attention. Don't get in a rush. Don't have any preferences over what your favorite submissions are. Those things are going to funnel you away from control. We need to force our opponent into such a bad claustrophobic spot that they basically beg us to take the submission. That they are like, if we're in mount, we got this arm overhead. We're trying to smother so much, control the position so much, that you just feel them move that arm into place. Just this silent request. Please armbar me. I want to go sit down and take a break for a second. That's what we're looking for. So position before submission. And that's going to lead us to a lot better rounds, easier rounds, and a better time progressing and learning the game. Because if you're constantly in this chaos, even when you're in a top position, you're not going to be able to slow down, think, and start putting together a system of your own and have options back and forth. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. We got a lot more coming.